What do you have done differently this year in order to keep on pushing the limits to get better? Every year the level keeps on getting higher. This year, Karsten, what have you done differently now to take it another step?
I think actually in the 4-meter hurdles you can see it very clearly now. It's very competitive at the moment, and everybody's trying to push the limits. People getting injured all the time. It seems to be tough out there, but top sports is a jungle. You need to be able to do all the right things and to have that consistency to be able to perform over time. For us, I think it's more or less the same. I think we have found the key to perform. I think we have found the key to run fast. And as long as I'm healthy, I'm always sure that I will run fast. So whatever we've done differently, I think we always try to put in a little bit more volume, try to run as much as we can without getting injured. And I have a great coach that has found the key many years ago. So I'm just lucky enough to be around to take advantage of that.
What I'm asking now is your experiences of coming back from injury. You have a lot of knowledge about that. Karsten got it last year. Start with you, Wade. What do you do mentally?
It's a tough one. It's really a tough one, to be honest with you. It's a constant battle of keeping true to who you are and what you want to achieve and your goals. To a large extent, there was days where I thought it was done. I would never get back to the track again. But there's something in your subconscious, in your heart, that would never allow me to give up, and I just try to always dig into that whenever I have the opportunity to, and whenever things are tough. And I'm a very spiritual person, so I'm always trying to improve my faith and always trying to rely on my faith through those difficult days. And so for me, physically, it was never really a challenge, because he knows our events is one where you're constantly pushing your body to limits, and you're constantly hurting yourself and trying to break barriers. So when you ask me to do a physical challenge, I'm always ready. And then when it comes to the mental side, we always need to be tough. We always have to put up a strong persona. But going through an injury, you have to start digging into vulnerabilities, and you have to start digging into areas that I guess as a strong, tough athlete, you don't really want to go into there too much, and you don't want to linger onto that too much, because then you feel too soft or too vulnerable. So it was a tough battle, and it's still something that I'm constantly working on and trying to improve myself. So, but I know once the performances improve, the head will fix itself. So I'm just constantly trying to be in a race and present and just appreciating the moment. Like I spoke to my agent as well, and I was like, let's do Oslo, let's do the Diamond Leagues and the meetings that I've never done before, so that I can experience the entire experience of being a track athlete and just enjoying it again. We got so caught into wanting to hit heights and break records and be the fastest that ever lived, which is fine, which is good, but at the same time, we think back to when we were kids, we would run back and forth all the time, not thinking about if we're going to get hurt or not, and just getting back to that mindset of appreciating what we have. There's people that live 9-to-5 jobs and get home, sleep, and have to get ready tomorrow morning again. We're doing running. Something that comes very natural to each and every one of us. So just appreciating that, and that mentally just puts me at ease and at calm, and just to appreciate where I'm at right now. So thanks for having me.
And I've tried the 14-step rhythm a couple of times at practice, and it's a stretch. It's hard. How do you train for it, and why do you think that's going to help you in the race?
I think at one point last year I was doing 15 strides still, but I was running a bit against myself. Every time I got in the beginning of the part to the hurdles, it was tough, and I had to dribble almost, because I'm tall, I have long legs, and it was just not working out exactly. But I like to be with my same leg over it, because this is nicer with hurdling, because with 40 step you also have to do your bad leg. And then I think my coach has really helped me by first working on a stride length in the winter and slowly just building it up, like step by step, first doing 6 steps or 8 steps, like switching the legs and stuff like this. And then when he saw I was ready, he would put me and let me try this 14 stride. And then it also worked because we really worked on everything already. And I think I also really liked it as a challenge. I mean, I love the hurdles and you always want to get faster, and we really thought this would be the way. So it was, for me, a challenge, but in a nice way. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it looks like it really worked out. I mean, your first race has been really good, so I'm excited to see what you can do tomorrow. And I have a question for you, Arian, because you've kind of dabbled a little bit with the 400 flat.
Yeah.
I looked up your stats and stuff, and I see that you've actually ran it a couple of times. But so obviously, your main focus is in the 200 and the 100 meters. But do you see yourself maybe like approaching the 400, trying to experimenting with that a little bit in the future, or do you see yourself more as a 1 and 2 versus or rather than a 2 and a 4?
Maybe within the near future, I plan on running the 400 a couple of more times because when I ran it in Gainesville, Florida at, I believe, Tom Jones. I could have ran faster, but I mean, I was still kind of scared to fill that 400 meters, so I really wasn't pushing my body as much. It still hurt it, and I'm still kind of scared of it, but I think I plan on running it probably twice next year. I'm going to try to put it in within my schedule twice, so yeah.
For you, Mondo, this year, after that fantastic season last year, have you done the same, done something differently? What has been your goals? Please explain.
I don't think it's as much as changing up so much stuff. I mean, I think at this point I've been doing it for such a long time that I know what makes me good, and I know what areas in my jump that I need to improve upon. And I think that just making sure that the areas that I am really good at, that I continue to be good at it, and just trying to not overcomplicate it at the end of the day, because I'm on a good path right now, and I'm doing things right, of course, and just pretty much keep doing that, I guess.
That's not always easy.
Not really. But our event's different, I guess, than a lot of the other events. It's very technical in a strange way, and so if you try to overcomplicate the event, then it can be really tough. And for me right now, I'm in a position where I feel like I have a really good feeling with the pole. And you see a lot of people out there, and it feels like sometimes when you don't really have it, you're fighting with it. And I feel like right now we're kind of in just a nice dance. And so I think I'm just trying to keep that feeling right now, because I feel like the timing and everything's there. And so I'm kind of trying to keep things pretty much the same. But as far as the physical aspect, of course, I'm always trying to get faster, stronger, and whatnot. But as far as the technical side, I'm not changing too much stuff, because I think that what I'm doing right now, there's more in the tank, and there's higher heights, and just what I have right now.
I think that it's, again, that balance between understanding what you do well, understanding what you're doing right, maintaining that, but also kind of, working on areas that you can improve. I spent a lot of time this year working on the mental side of things, I think. I think that was like, after last season, that was the biggest frontier for me. Like, I saw such a huge jump in performance from what I was running in the season through to World Champs. Like, I dropped like over a 10th in like 3 weeks. So pretty much I put, there's peaking and all of that, but also just really working hard on my mental coming into that championship. So that's something that I always integrated, but I think particularly in the events where you have a few seconds to get it right, it's really important to kind of cover that aspect. So a lot of work's gone into that.
I think training is relatively easy. You just need to practice the same things that you've been doing over and over again. And I've obviously been doing something previously that works for me. As an endurance type runner, it's all about running strength and running the most of amount of mileage that you possibly can, and at the same time do a little bit of the specific work. So year to year, I'm always trying to do that a little bit better, but at the same time, not forgetting why I'm a good runner, and I'm able to run as fast as I am. So, but at the same time, it's always a debate for me and for the team around me that is there something that we can do different, and try to see it
small details, but at the same time keep the same structure and working on the same things. But for me also, I'm not always 100% sure of what I'm going to race and how fast I'm going. So that's the fun thing about racing, that you see for a fact how fast you can go in that race in that day. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
When can we expect that you take on the 5,000 at Bislett? If ever, then when?
That's a good question. I've never really thought about it, but that's probably a good thing. I'm gonna try to run and put myself in a position to win the 1500 as many times as I can first.
But you don't see it as impossible that we will see you sometime in the future in the 5,000. That's what you're saying.
No, if I'm able, I'm probably gonna compete in the Bislett Games forever. But we'll see.
Asking is, do you also kind of use those memories and those great performances as a way of do you get those associations, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Well, I mean, definitely. I think when you've got positive memories of a place, for whatever reason it is, and maybe, it might have been a win, might have been a national record, or just maybe you were coming back from something, and even though it wasn't, a really shiny performance, it was good for you. I think that will always bode well. Good vibes are good vibes, but I think ultimately the aim for everybody is, when you hit every single race, whatever the stadium, whatever the location, you want it to be an amazing experience at all of them, and you want to perform fantastically in all corners of the world. But I was really excited to find that my calendar worked with Oslo this year. It is one of the favourite meets of lots of the international athletes. The food's great, the stadium's amazing, and the fans, as I said, are really knowledgeable. So I was excited when I saw that you had 100 and it fit with my personal schedule. So I was like, great, back to Oslo.
I have a question for you, Lamar. So if you'll help me translate. You had an incredible season in 2022. You got a world record, you got the World Championship gold medal, and the list goes on. But we didn't see you compete indoors, and this is going to be your first meet here. You're opening the season here at Bislett. So I'm just kind of wondering, what have you been doing since Eugene, and how's your training and your preparations been since then?
Que has acabado de abrir la temporada y qué es lo que esperas ahora para la temporada y el campeonato.
Creo que todos estos años han sido muy bonitos para mí.
I believe that the last years were very beautiful for me and softball.
Yo soy un atleta de retos y cada vez que me pongo uno intento lograrlo de cualquier modo.
I am an athlete with a mentality of records every day. Every season I put in my head a mentality that this season will be the best than the last.
Este año es importante porque es un año que trabajamos de cara al próximo, que serán los Juegos Olímpicos de París.
This year is very important for me because we are working to Olympic Games. That is the big objective for the next years.
Y me encuentro muy bien. Espero poder hacer un gran año, una gran temporada de verano y poder superarme a mí misma y a todas las marcas en las que he establecido en los anteriores años.
Now, very good say, and I hope this year break the world record again, and many other objectives like the long jump in the World Championships, and working these two events for the Olympic Games.